The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products at InfoWarsLife.com are simply amazing. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered with the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing. Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today and get your free wire stand with the purchase of a ProPure Big Water Filtration System. Or call 1-888-253-3139.
66. The answer to 1984 is 1776. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Yeah, sorry to that last caller while he was asking a really important question. I was learning about Jesse Ventura. I just called Ventura's people, and they said he's on a 2-day golf trip, and it's told him he refuses to do any interviews, regardless if the jury came back. He's obsessed with golf and surfing. But that they said they would call him for me and see if he can come on tomorrow. I'm sure he will. He was scheduled actually next Wednesday. But, you know, I'm sad for the wife of Chris Kyle, but I'm also glad for Jesse Ventura. Because Jesse Ventura did not ever say he was glad that Navy SEALs died, and he was not knocked out. He was there for a commencement speech on record at a bar owned by one of the most famous Navy SEAL trainers. And he has them all as witnesses that no confrontation happened, nothing went on. And Chris Kyle was clearly hired in a black op disinformation campaign, for best I know, to lie and defame Jesse Ventura so he can't run for president down the road, regardless of what you think about him. And to try to throw him out of the Navy SEAL underwater demolition team society, that's been going on. And Ventura has talked to the family, talked to all of them. He told them, look, you retract it, I won't sue you. But I've never met you, you better stop it. Imagine if someone said that you were glad Navy SEALs were dead and that they deserved to die and that you'd been knocked out for saying it and none of it happened. This is how you defame people. And I was the one that told Jesse Ventura when he was in Mexico. I'm the one that got a hold of him. They waited till he drove right over the Mexican border in his RV into Baja, knowing it took 2 days. When he crossed the Mexican border, they announced it. And again, it's bigger than Jesse Ventura. It's the anatomy of a psychological operation. With News Corps, publishing the book, putting it out, Bill O'Reilly, all of them, about the coward Ventura wanted SEALs to die. And he got knocked out for saying it. And the hero, Chris Kyle, did it. It just wasn't true. And then what happened to Chris Kyle when Ventura started winning his case? I'm not even allowed to say how much Ventura, last time I talked to him off air, had already spent. But it's an unbelievable amount of money. Let's just say this. He's not going to probably basically get any money from the $1.8 million settlement. The media spun it and lied and said, how dare Jesse Ventura want to ruin a widow? There's an insurance policy with News Corps. She will not pay $1 to Jesse Ventura. But hiding behind a woman, the people that pulled this shenanigan off and told Chris Kyle to do this need to know that they have now been exposed and defeated. And if they try to appeal it, I have no doubt that they're going to lose, because you can't have a public figure come out and say that someone said, I love it that Navy SEALs are dead, and then that you knock them out, designed to defame in the military community, try to kick him out of his societies, kick him out of his culture. This is like saying Martin Luther King was a secret Ku Klux Klan member and claiming you saw Martin Luther King in a Ku Klux Klan outfit and you're a credible peer. It'd be like if Martin Luther King's brother came out and said he saw him in a Ku Klux Klan outfit. I mean, it just, Martin Luther King would have to sue him. It's just a fraud. It's a lie. And I told Opie and Anthony at the time, they called me that next day after Ventura had been on my show, a Sunday, right after I told him that Sunday, he came on my show and discussed it. We ought to, for the nightly news tonight, go get that Sunday radio interview when Ventura was on Skype with us. And when he was saying it's totally untrue and he's going to get his name back. If you could have only heard Jesse Ventura when I told him and his wife on Skype, it was crystal clear audio. I'm not even going to repeat what Jesse did when I told him. And again, you can say what you want about Ventura. He's a real guy. That's why I respect him. That's why they always say he's not real and he's a fake, because all he is like a good old boy from Minnesota. And again, the reason this case is important to me is justice. They can come out and say something horrible about me, folks. They could set me up in 100 different ways. And I need people to come to my aid when that happens, okay? They could try to set up Matt Drudge or Joseph Farah or Ron Paul or Rand Paul. You know, they had 3 different cases. I should do a whole report on this. It's so important. When Rand Paul beat the Republican blue blood in his Kentucky Senate primary campaign, and then Mitch McConnell switched from trying to defeat him, the other senator, with money to, you know, working with him. Because Rand said, I'm going to expose you as not going for another conservative candidate if you don't knock this off. And then they sent out Democrats dressed up in literal hayseed outfits, overalls, to say, I don't like Mexicans and N-words, and hold up signs. And the national news ran with it. And I said to the listeners, I said, you got to go use a Google image search on this guy. I bet money it's a Democratic operative, and it turned out in every case they were. They should have all been sued. I used to go out for land rights rallies and Second Amendment rallies. And they'd have Klan guys show up that were clearly Jewish. I mean, classic Jewish features. And I'd say, you're from the Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL. They'd get mad and run off. We've got those videos somewhere. Guys that look like rabbis or something in Klan outfits. I mean, this is what the left does, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the left-right paradigm is false when you get outside of it, but within it, it's a real issue. And the sky's the limit. I mean, they could have somebody that looks like me go paint swastikas on a black church or something. I didn't do it. Rand Paul didn't do it. If they pull me over and plant drugs on me, I don't use drugs, folks. I have an extremely clean lifestyle other than drinking some occasionally and tobacco products, which I haven't done in 5 years. And I eat too much sometimes. And the reason I'm going off on this jag here before I go to your calls is because this affects me. I live under this. I mean, I've been out there, and I knew it was a hit piece within 30 minutes because I was already getting calls. It was already on national TV. I'm at the DNC covering Obama. They've got anarchists on me who are hitting me in the back and stuff when no cameras are around, trying to get me to beat them up, with cops waiting to arrest me across the street at the Denver Mint, the Federal Reserve Mint. And these people that later left with Michelle Malkin would get behind me and scream, "Kill Michelle Malkin." And then it was on national radio, USA Today the next day, Extra that night, CNN within an hour. The end of Alex Jones's career. He went up to a little lady and said to the crowd, "Let's kill her. What a coward." And they had talking points on national radio shows. I'm not going to say the name. And the Dallas Morning News. I made a bunch of newspapers retract and TV retract. The Dallas Morning News writer, who also hosts Rush Limbaugh's show sometimes, he told me in emails, he said, "I've never retracted nothing." And I graciously didn't sue him. I could have gotten a defamation. I could have won a lawsuit. But, you know, I had to move on. And it wasn't as defaming as the Ventura thing because it wasn't publicized as much. But they got photos with AP of me yelling at her when she was saying I was a liar because the Marines were throwing puppies off cliffs, and she said online that I was a liar, it was a robot dog. And I said, "You know what, that was a real dog, and I don't appreciate you saying I'm a liar." And everybody was yelling at me, so I was yelling back at her. And so they had people stand behind me who later left with her saying that I said kill her. I produced the video, stayed up, got it online, and forced retractions. Again, these are the operations they run against us, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, for God's sakes, they've been trying to break my family up. I've been married 12 years. They've been trying to break that up all along with all sorts of behind-the-scenes operations. So I just want the public to know, man, bad guys run the government, okay? I've been there. Dan Bongino, perfect record, Secret Service, ran foreign operations, very senior, rising star, handsome, smart guy, former New York police officer. I mean, they're breaking in his house. They're harassing his kids. They're doing all sorts. He doesn't want to mention it on air and give them the attention. He just said, "I got a gun and I'm ready to break people's necks on the air." He just said, "Let me catch who's doing it." And I don't even want to talk about the stuff I've gone through because I'm not trying to scare you folks, but people need to understand how real this is. There are good people at the mid and low levels. Most of them are good. But the globalists on top are trying to convince all the underlings and mid-level to go along with the lies and be part of dirty tricks, and you'll get hung out to dry. My gut tells me that so-called PTSD Marine that killed Chris Kyle out at that luxury facility, do you think anybody buys that? If I'm ever at a shooting range and they claim some PTSD person shoots me in the head, don't believe it. Chris Kyle had outlived his usefulness, and I give my condolences to his wife who's being manipulated and others. And I tell her, I'm sorry that your husband was basically executed to cover up the black op on Ventura. But this black op on Ventura, if it ever all comes out, is the type of thing that could bring